It's the big game. The Argonaut Mustangs take on the Amador Buffaloes at Amador with sportscasters Jim Vinciguerra and Keith Davis.
Hi everybody, welcome to the game of the week. It's a big game week. We're here at Amador High School tonight where the Mustangs take on the Amador Buffaloes for a definite playoff spot. As Rick Carter used to say when it comes big game time, and he's sitting over here giving us cues, Rick Carter said, throw the records away, throw the stats away. It's the last game of the season and anything goes, and tonight is for all the marbles for third place. So.
Yeah, Jim, as we all know, this is a game that everybody looks forward to, the whole county. This is the only thing that counts, you know, when you're in preseason, when you're in summer. Everybody talks about the big game, and you're right, it's all passion tonight. I do believe, though, that when you look at the records, both teams are 2-2 in league. Both teams rely heavily on their defense. For the most part, they don't score a lot of points, and opponents score less. So it's going to be a defensive ball game tonight. And we'll have to see what happens. Again, you know, a lot of times when we say it's a defensive ball game, it's the special teams that makes the difference between the win and loss, and we'll find out if that's the case tonight.
And we were saying there's always the possibility of somebody coming out and scoring, say, 35 points. We aren't going to call that tonight. I'm going to tell you right now, if there's 4 touchdowns scored between the two teams, I think we're going to be lucky. What do you think? It's going to be it's muddy out there. We just did the JV game. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Yesterday I came over here and it was just muck. But the field's holding up pretty well. A couple of bad spots right here between the 30 and 40 yard line. But as far as I'm concerned, Keith, you've got the whole league, and out of pick any two teams, these two teams are probably the most comparable each way, defense, offense. They match up probably the best.
Well, Jim, you're right. They both run the double wing. They both run a 5-2 defense. The records are pretty much the same. It's these kids all play together in Nuggets football. It's bragging rights right now. And as mentioned, the winner tonight will be playing next week. They'll take on the #1 GEL rated team. So
and that GEL team is either going to be Pioneer or Lyndhurst, from what I gather?
That's correct. If Lyndhurst loses tonight, it'll be Pioneer, and if Lyndhurst wins tonight, it'll be Lyndhurst.
So figure it out. Somebody's going to be over there next week, and I think we'll probably be there one way or the other, no matter who it is, Argonaut or Amador. So you know we're going to get a playoff game. But listen, folks, stay tuned. We're going to be back with opening kickoff, introduction of the captains, the national anthem. It's all set up, ready to go. It's for a playoff berth tonight. Stay tuned. We're going to have a good one. Okay, folks, we're just about ready to start up the annual big game. Playing for that rotary bell tonight, Keith. You know, I never really seen that bell. When I was playing, it was over at Jackson for about 3 years. But anyway, Chuck Lindekugel, I think Chuck, actually an old-time Sutter Creek resident, started it with the Rotary Club in the, I want to say in the late 60s. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, they're playing for the bell.
The big
Rotary
bell.
Club, yeah, one of the charitable groups in Amador County. So, captains for tonight's game, we've got number 1 is going to be Trevor Longman. Number 15 is going to be Justin Rupley. Number 51 is Steve Zenas. And number 66, I think, is out there. That's going to be Willie Aubert.
All from Amador.
Yeah, Amador. And we
have to wait and see which ones start stepping out for Argonaut.
Argonaut Mustangs, we're going to see here. Looks like Fisher over there and Fletcher. 20, 65, Kyle Fletcher. 20 is Fisher.
33 is Chris Barnes.
33 is going to be Barnes. And looks like probably DiGirolamo. I'd say 53, 56, Molinelli or DiGirolamo, one of the two. We'll get it for you as soon as we see. Looks like 56. That's going to be DiGirolamo. So we will see.
And it looks like Amador is going to have their whole squad be associate captains.
And they're going to be, everybody's coming out.
So
There's the crew.
That's pretty cool.
And I tell you, Keith, you don't have to say it, biggest crowd this year at Amador. They're backed up in the end zones. They brought in extra bleachers for the Argonaut bunch, and they're filled up, and the sideline crews are ready to go. The Amador band is ready to go.
I believe this is always the biggest sporting event in the county each year.
Yeah, it is.
No matter where we have it at.
So we're going to see who gets the toss here. If you're just joining us, JV game tonight, won by the Junior Buffaloes.
Well, Jim, the weather couldn't be any better.
Oh, I tell you, after last night, gee whiz. After making thousands of raviolis yesterday, I took a ride over here, and I looked at the field and I thought, my God, I said, how are they going to play on that thing? And I mean, it's drained off quite well. The JV game, not too much slipping going on.
Right,
the ball gets a little
good.
wet, so if they keep transferring balls in and out, ball should be dry. And I know the local radio community station today was really worried about if that ball would be wet and how they were going to run on the field and how many people were going to slip down. But I tell you, it's so Argonaut has declined the
deferred
the coin toss. So they want to put the D on the field first. What do you think?
They're going to defer, so it's going to be Amador's choice.
And you want to come out. You want to come out with your strongest unit right now, and Argonaut's strong unit is the defense. So hopefully.
Yeah, Amador chose to take the ball, and in the second half, we'll have our choice, and more than likely, we'll take the ball too. And you're right. A lot of times, a team wants to defer because they want their defense out there. You know, because sometimes that first series of plays is what makes all the difference.
Right here it says, if you want to pan down there, Tom, on the 30-yard line, it says, thank you, Mr. Campbell, for 40 years of service. Again, Soup Campbell, been running the clock here, shooting that gun for 40 years. He's half deaf, but, you know, that's what happens when you get 40 years of blanks. So, anyway, is Soup down there? Yeah, he's right in the middle there. Yeah. There he is. So he graduated from Amador, 54. And his granddaughter has graduated. I'm just going by the stadium announcer. And he was a basketball player, football player, track, and also Colin Campbell was a member of the band. I used to work with Soup down at Preston. He's a retired administrator down there, and also Colin was president of the Native Sons of the whole state.
Oh, you're kidding.
Big time into the Native Sons, the local chapter in Sutter Creek. Also married Pearl Cuneo in 58.
Well, you know, all you're talking about here is community service. Giving some more.
That's what happens when you're in a small county. It's got to happen, or it doesn't happen at all, you know?
That's
and it's
right.
With your Key Club and the Kiwanis and the Lions, Rotary, you name it, like the Rotary Bell tonight, you know, and Chuck Lindekugel, all old-timers, all strongly community-minded, and, hey, that's what it takes. Went to San Jose State, graduated from Sac State, again, Colin. Put in 32 years of service at Preston School. So we're going to see, is that going to be, yeah, no, I guess that's it. Anyway, stadium announcer tonight, none other than Big Rick Carter.
Oh, yeah.
He has held the position as the grand president.
Tom says that Rick is the assistant stadium announcer. We've got Stan Redkey over there.
Left Palette Foundation. Colin has also been associated with the National Track and Field Association as a track.
Oh, that's another thing. Colin Campbell is one of the big starters in track and field. The Olympic trials at Sac State this past year. And I don't know if he's getting close to retiring out of that. So,
and we got Kevin Neville, the athletic director, giving him a jacket.
The principal is
Bill Murray.
Colin will be finishing the basketball season, and his position will be open for volunteers.
So they're asking for volunteers.
40-year commitment.
They're asking for a 40-year commitment to time the basketball games and run the clock here at Amador.
Ladies and gentlemen,
so anyway, a big thank you to Colin Campbell.
No kidding. Boy,
featured at tonight's Amador Argonaut, big game.
That is pretty neat. 40 years of service. My goodness.
That's a long time. I mean, I was in high school when he was running this clock. That's a long time. In fact, you were probably in high school way before that.
No, Jim, we're
but
same age, buddy. We're the same age.
All right.
As is Rick Carter.
Go back. I don't think so.
Rick's all right.
It doesn't look it.
Well, he doesn't look younger.
We better be quiet. He's sitting right to our right here. So, anyway, we're going to bow out for the national anthem presented by the Amador Band. And we'll be back
Our national anthem.
when it is over after we get a little listen. Okay, we're about ready. Tom, take a pan down to the left side there on that end zone. There's more people in that end zone that are actually sitting in the stands. Take a look back there. I mean, it looks like a concert or something. This is Woodstock all over again, baby. Watch out.
Boy, Jim, that listening to the national anthem there kind of reminded me of you when you played the trumpet for Jackson High School.
Well, that was a long time ago, you know. I can't remember how long ago it was. I'm getting a little senile in the old age, but trying to remember things.
You graduated in 69.
69, yeah.
So just 35 years ago.
35. Luckily, varsity didn't have to go out and play in the band. If you were a JV player, you play your JV game, go down, take a shower, get dressed, had to wear a tie, get your instrument in the band room, walk up and play for the varsity game. So, you know, you had a full menu, a full plate. Anyway, we're about ready to go here, folks. So enough's enough. The talking's over. We're ready to get down to some business. 12 minutes.